Hey guys, it's Manu here, and we're here for the FBL Mythical Season 10 Power Rankings. And today I'm joined by Wagon Fruit,
What's up, you guys? I'm Wagon Fruit.
as well as Phonytail.
Hello, I'm Ponytail.
What was so funny?
Okay, so
Yeah.
first we should probably do like a disclaimer that this is just our opinion, so don't take it too
No,
seriously.
this is fact, guys.
This
if you
is
disagree,
facts. If you're low on the PRs, it means that you are
Yeah.
bad and you should feel bad.
yeah, fun fact. Before this, we had some ties, so some of them are coin flips. But again, if you disagree, you're fucking wrong. So
Yeah, exactly.
I personally decided that some of them shouldn't be ties and some of them are actually just worse.
yeah,
All right. So in 16th place we have what's his name, Mish. Seth?
I was starting at 16th, not first.
No, you have to go from
Oh,
one.
Mish!
why would
Yeah.
we?
This guy is Mish. I put you at like 8th. These guys are just really critical of you. I don't know why. I think it's cool.
What? He's critical of me?
Shut up. No, you're all mean to Mish's draft. I think it's pretty good.
You
But
ranked
guys,
it last
16th.
place on yours.
Yeah, you
got
did.
us 16th. And it's, I did what I could, Mish. Just don't worry about it, okay? Buddy?
Yeah,
There
we should
was
probably,
actually no other place you could have put it lower.
We should probably like say individually where we ranked all of them.
Okay, I
Yeah,
placed
sure.
Mish's
Yeah.
dead last. I think it's really
Mish
bad.
16 as well.
I put mine at 13, which gave you a fighting chance in a coin flip, but you missed it
Yeah.
because we overruled it because mine was an
Yeah.
outlier.
Sorry, Mish. I like Zamazenta Zapdos. I think that's like super standard and tried and tested. Tinglu's a good Pokemon. I think you have like the worst Terracaps in the draft board, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really hate
Ogerpon Cornerstone at 22 is very overpriced.
It's insane. It also doesn't have strong removal support. You have to like cryogonal spin, so Sturdy isn't going to be able to get utilized properly. I think Enamorous Turtle is 12-point higher Alcremie, which is worse. That's unfortunate.
I don't know about going that far. I don't actually.
I'll go that far.
Yeah,
I don't-
Can you compare
I
Namor
don't-
the
Green
two?
is really good, but
I don't
I
mind
think
Enam.
I do, because it's Alcremie with no ability and a worse typing,
Listen.
and then like slightly higher immediate pressure.
I think you guys are
know.
sleeping a tiny bit on the double healing wish to Zamazenta and Tinglu.
That's possible. Well, I'll give you
could
Zamazenta.
be, but at the same time, it is suicide on 2 months.
It is
Yeah,
it is,
that's
and
true.
it's also a situational tech, so
Yeah.
it doesn't make the team better, but it is actually like a possible thing that could be.
The
solved.
main
That is the best. You've gassed me up a little bit because that is the best
Yeah.
use of Enamorous variant. So
Mhm.
that does make sense.
Yeah,
Best
but
use of kill itself.
Yep, that's it. That's all it's got.
a huge
But
problem
the main
for
issue with this team for me is literally just the Cryogonal is the only spin, and he
Yeah.
has 2 item lock
it's
mons.
yeah, and then Tinglu, which doesn't want to run boots, it wants to run lefties
Yeah.
and citrus all the time.
Like Zapdos and Enam are always gonna have to run boots, or else he's just gonna die.
Another big problem for me is both of the best and like kind of only real speed options on the team are item locked. So if you're not having a fun time in the speed tiers, you're not gonna have a fun time in the matchup period.
I think he's gonna run Scarf Zapdos at least once this season.
It's probably gonna end up having to happen, and then that just makes you weaker to rocks and your cryogonals, your spin. It's all like a snowball effect that the no removal plus 2 item locked mons gives you.
Yeah.
But
I like Empoleon and Mesprit though. I think that's a cute little
Team
core.
would be so
Yeah, it
much
is.
better if the Enamorous was not Tyrion.
The Enamorous just wasn't there.
Wasn't-
I think
did you
it
say
would
Yeah, if it was Incarnate.
oh, yeah, it wasn't Tyrion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you said Terra for a second. It's like
No,
whoa.
no, not.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like,
But I like most of the mons individually. I think I rank it higher than 16 because I think all these mons are really quality, even though like other than like compared to its cost, the Ogerpon, but like everything else.
I think there's just too many weaknesses on the team in general. But,
Yeah. But there's also a
Opinions.
lot of strengths that I don't mind, which makes me not put it
That
at
is
last.
true.
But I can see why you guys did, because it has a lot of annoying holes that he's gonna have to deal with
Mhm.
every single matchup. It's not great.
I also think the strengths are very inflexible. Zamazenta Crown and Ogerpon are like really kind of telegraphed in what they want to do.
Yeah, their sets are gonna be very telegraphed, but at the same
It's gonna
time,
be pretty easy.
at the same time, I think the order of when he sends it out is gonna be really critical to
yeah.
how the opponent plays around it, and if they don't expect it, it can be kind of demon. But again,
Yeah.
if hazards are up,
I-
then that can limit it. It's not.
I do think Zamazenta C is probably like the most unfair first pick in the draft. I
I
really
hate-
am a big Zama
I
C
really
believer. I
Yeah,
really
no,
hate that
same.
Pokemon.
I think
hate
that mon is
playing against it
broken.
so much. Yeah, me too. So that's good. And Zapdos is like the safest possible pairing with it. So it's like it's good aspects. I don't think any draft is like unusually bad here.
No, it's
True.
a decent team. It just has issues. Okay,
Who's next?
moving on to Finley at number 15.
Oh god.
I personally had him at 14 actually, so not that big of a jump.
Sorry, my mic was destroying itself. What spot in the draft was Finley?
He was, I believe he was like 8 or something. He was right in the middle.
Nope. That's okay. This is Gorex. Where was he? He was in the middle, really?
No, it's not based on draft order. It's named on like the team initials. It's Toronto Tepix is the one you're looking for. Tots, the third one.
Oh really? Oh shoot. Okay.
Totally thought it was based on draft order this whole time. Not gonna lie.
This is gonna be so funny when you're like actually.
I clicked on Mish correctly. Oh god, this is gonna be great.
Okay. So he's number 15. Finley came in 15th. I personally had him at 14 though.
I personally had him at 16.
Damn. Yeah, I just think it's fun. It looks really fun. Iron Hands is sick. I love Iron Hands. There's like 4 other better Terra Captains it could have been, but I think Omni Hands is really, really fun to use. So, you know, it's gonna have a good time. It's really, really slow. It's like insanely slow.
I think you also had him at 15, so it all evened out to 15, right?
Yeah.
Let me find.
See, the main issue with this team for me is that it's a little too defensive, and the only real other offensive mon it has is Gyarados and Nurse Luna, obviously.
And the Gyarados was 12 points. Was it?
Yeah, I think it's like pretty standard, like bulky offense with like a double regen thing. It's like an Arcanine. I love Arcanine. Kilowatts was a safe pick.
Arcanine is going to be really hard to break.
Yeah, it's gonna be super annoying, but like I think there's like a shared weakness to hazards that's gonna put a lot of pressure on Iron Treads. It's not gonna let Iron Treads really be as flexible as it wants to be. Iron Treads is a really strong Pokemon. Like there's a lot you could do with it. If it's just coming every game to spin, it's really sad.
Yep.
And it's really like
Well, the problem I see with Iron Treads is it is trying to do so much right now. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's also one of the only fast ones, so it has to revenge every time if Kilowatt wasn't.
Right, and it's also just like the only thing preventing a huge speed gap between that and the rest of the team. So other things that's not like if they don't like respect treads and then you don't run max speed, then you're gonna take way more damage on your passive team. So it's gonna be really hard pressure.
I also think Kilowattrel is gonna have to come like almost every game just because it's the only mon above 100 aside from treads, but treads doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Even like in some matchups, you're gonna be able to have like a really strong 6 for this draft. To be fair, especially the ones with Kilowattrel is like really good. That's gonna be nice, but like even then, I don't know. Treads is just so forced to spin in this matchup that I feel like it puts you at a real disadvantage in a back foot.
Also, having such a bulky team with such a limited hazard game is not something that I like. The Tread is the only rocker, which is another thing that it has to do.
Yeah,
and then
exactly. Well, the Coalfish
spiker.
is good. Coalfish is great if it's coming because it patches up the T-Spike weakness as well. Like, you don't have to run Mono Boots in some matchups where you can bring Coalfish Treads. But
one thing I will give this team is I do like bulkier teams with Hydrapple on them because that.
Yeah, I love Hydrapple. Yeah. No, same.
Having that knock immunity with Sticky Hold potentially. Because your bulk is already fine.
True. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So is not dying to anything.
Yeah. If you can keep it healthy enough with Sticky Hold, like it doesn't have regen, but it's still really helpful for all the stuff that wants to run boots. Other than Hydrapple, and then Quillfish and Girder have an Eviolite.
And with two booster Pokemons as well, you're just like really good at absorbing knock on this team for a stall team. That's true.
Yep. So I always like that on bulkier teams. That one stall team that was popular in OU had a Hydrapple on it, and it was going crazy.
Yeah. I also think Mimikyu is an unusably bad Pokemon, and it's like a big waste of 6 points. I don't know if that's like honestly, I just hate that guy.
It has its uses.
Honestly, I like it more as utility. And
actually, same. The bulky sets. No, I'm totally with you there. Actually, yeah, I always forget about those.
Yeah, and then because this team it's
red
card's really nice for this because Quillfish is the only other way of phasing, despite this being a really bulky team. So Mimikyu is probably going to see a bunch of uses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, any sweeper that could kill, that can really threaten Iron Hands or Blood Moon, and they have a share weakness of any special attack. is going to like really just immediately just run away with the game, which is like a huge weakness of this. But.
Yeah. So then at that point, it becomes an issue of how many Pokemon are you bringing to this fucking game, right?
Yeah. Like I just look at this and I'm looking at like one of the Terra Latioses, or like what do you do? You just instantly lose.
Yeah, it's
like so
tough.
unplayable.
It's really,
like really
really
difficult
tough.
for sure.
Yeah, for real.
Who's next?
Okay, at number 14 we have Nozermat, which is the DRP page.
Thank you.
I personally put him myself at place 15.
Did I do the same? I might have.
I put him 14 and I rated him. Yeah, he's the only ever C-tier draft that I've rated.
Where did I put him?
The thing is, it's just like, so it's clearly a webs team because it has like no wall at all aside from like Overquill and Wigglytuff, but there's no ghost type and like
yeah
everyone I know dude, so many webbers just didn't pair it with a ghost type at all, and it's like, okay, you're just gonna get bringing a Ribombee, which isn't like the worst one in the world, but it's not good, and then you're forced to basically like you get one turn where they're forced to spin and that's it. It just feels really bad. I think Como was way over prioritized.
Yeah,
I think he definitely could have safely picked it up later.
Waited for that for like round 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I think you were pretty lucky or fortunate with R4 Blastoise, honestly.
Yeah, gunning for a spinner this early, especially Blastoise as a spinner, because that mon's great.
I love Blastoise.
Very good decision.
Even Chi, like I feel like there just must have been some stronger Pokemon at that point that you could have chosen over like Como or Jirachi. Chi, like could have waited on. Blastoise is great. I really like Thunderous Eye with it as a Terra Cap.
Yep, it's pretty good.
I think he has to suicide lead Ribombee like every game to kind of like.
I don't even like. I don't even know.
I don't think it can do that because exactly. It's Telegraph and it loses to Click Rapid Spin, so you can't really. Because you can't consistently keep webs up at all, you're not going to be able to like prep a webs in mind. You're not going to be able to run like modest specs Chi you ever still.
That's true.
You're just going to get run through.
A little.
You're kind of mono lose to Earthquake too. Now that I'm looking at it, anyway.
Yeah. A little problem that what am I saying? A little problem that I have with the bulk on this team is some of the resistances are held in some of the weirdest places. Like all the EQ switch-ins are really frail and destroyed by rock moves, other than of course Flapple. So it's like defensively it's not going to be great, and because your webs are inconsistent, the speed is going to be a little bit weird too. Yeah,
it's going to be a huge issue. Thunder's going to have to like carry so much. It's the same as like the Kilowattrel from before, but like Thunderous is a much better Pokemon than Kilowattrel. So
yeah,
at least there's that. But
true. There's also
really good.
Mamo's decent priority. Jet from Stoys exists, I suppose.
I wish Blastoise was a Terra Pokemon here, actually.
But
and like if Como was like a real Dragon type, like a different one that could like stand without Terra, and Blastoise was a Terra Cap, it could be like really cool.
Yeah. Honestly, to be honest, I don't even know why Yanmega's here. I don't know what
he's hanging out. He's a cool dude. What do you mean?
Yanmega's chill.
You go Specs Tinted Lens for when you have webs up?
Do you need a Yanmega on this? You have a Chi-Yu and a Thunderous Terra. Like what? What is it gonna help you with? Listen, Yanmega is a great guy.
For when the webs fail.
Okay, as long as you think he's a great guy.
Okay, so moving on to number 13, we have Chris, which is the DOR page on the dog.
Sweet, thank you.
I ranked him at 13 actually, so perfectly.
You're so talented. I did it at 12.
You haven't gotten a single ranking right yet, Wagon. Come on, man.
Actually, I'm right, and you guys are overcompensating for
Chris
bad teams.
Taroka. I put him at 11. All right, I'm a believer. Let's see why. Oh, that's why.
I do think the team starts off really well, but then at the end it just kind of goes down.
You think it starts off really well? I mean, with like you mean like immediately like Dragapult and then
and then Corv.
Yeah, I think R2 Corv is like befuddling. It's completely insane. It's way overvaluing Corviknight. I've seen R2 Corv in like every single roster. Maybe that's something I don't know about. Or you guys just played too much Gen 8. But like, I think R2 Corv is insane.
I definitely think round 2 14-point Corv is not really the way to go. However, I'm not gonna really knock it for that because he got around 3 Urshifu singles. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then 13-point Iron Muff is like one of the best value picks on the entire board. I think, along with Iron Crown as well. I love it so much.
Yep, Terra Crown is definitely a really good resource to have. I'm sorry, but I really hate Sylveon, and I usually don't have individual Pokemon like knocking down the quality of the whole team, but I think that Mon is insanely passive, and what it provides is like kind of essential as a fairy type here. So it's going to be coming a lot, and it's going to be turning this like potentially offensive team into a balanced team. And
I wish there was a Florges to give it a better Scarf option.
I wish there was a Florges too. I think that would have been a great improvement.
There you go. I put that in the notes. Yeah, I love Florges a lot here instead of Sylveon. It's cheaper for some reason, and it can just Scarf Trick, which is huge.
It's actually free right now as well.
Oh, is it up?
Is it actually?
Let's go.
Combo dropped it, right?
Chris, get it.
Can I just draft it right now? Yeah, Chris. Yeah, just do it now. I'll DM Chris.
And drop the Dark Spawn.
Yeah, drop the. I was about to say, drop the Dark Spawn. That thing is doing.
Yeah,
nothing.
I don't know what Darkwood's doing there.
Like, it just the exact same thing as Sylveon, but physical.
It's not good. It's a fire immunity for your team that's already pretty good with fire.
Swampert should be able to handle most fire types.
Swampert, my beloved. Swampert's great here. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. I don't know. I don't think it's like that low. I think it's like actually pretty decent. Yes, Iron Moth is like a really good combination of Pokemon as well. I think Iron Crown's an insane value pick. Toadscrolls, whatever. I don't see Ambipom with Zacian ever coming, and I think Sylveon could be better, and I hate Corviknight. But like other than that, it's like really good shit.
Other than like half the team.
Yeah, but that's like the irrelevant half of the team. It's the team that's not coming every game, right? So that's why I don't mind.
Yeah, definitely.
7 of his Mons has momentum though, so like he can play games with that and just like win purely breaking like while pivoting.
You're not counting Sylveon.
Isn't it more than 7? Yeah, it can Baton Pass.
I don't care about Sylveon's not a pivot.
They all do. Toadscroll can.
I don't care. Sylveon's not a pivot.
Can eject Pack Leaf Storm. Sylveon, we can all pivot, baby.
If you think Sylveon is being effective as a pivot, you are smoking.
I'm not saying it's very effective,
it's exactly as effective as Corviknight.
No, Corviknight resists like a lot of the types.
God.
And it heals in 1 turn. That's really big.
True, Wish really sucks this gen.
Wish is terrible.
Oh yeah, that's another thing Florges is better for, because it can just synthesis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Florges is so much better. I'm not going to be Gasset anymore. It's way better.
Who's telling you this? Not.
Lots of people. Mano, he did the doc, remember?
Oh, what are you talking about, Mano?
I know, right?
Alright, let's go on to number 12, which is Samuel, the RUD page on the doc.
Sweet.
The Rushed and Dances. I actually really like this team personally.
I had it really low.
I put it at 9, so how do you end up this low? Did Wagon just put him at like the absolute bottom?
I put him close. I put him at like 14.
On principle, I'm angry looking at it because it would just be like infinitely better with a Rillaboom, but I don't think that's like horrible.
Yeah, I guess, but Thwackey does the job.
It doesn't do the job. Stop saying no. It doesn't do. It's the most overrated 2-pointer in history. It's so garbage. It can't do anything. It's just that you're playing 5v6 of grassy terrain.
I'm not a Thwackey defender, but it does.
And Rillaboom. Well, it sounded like you were defending Thwackey. I don't know, man. Okay.
I would never draft it personally, but it does do what it needs to do, which is just set up terrain.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything else. It just clicks like Knock and then dies, or it clicks Grassy Glide and does like 46% to a weak water type. Like, I don't know. I'd just rather have a Rillaboom, and that way you're just every game you're bringing like a really good Pokemon that you want to bring, and that's like really important, I think. Especially with Sandy Shucks, because the rest of the team is set up really nicely to take advantage of terrain. Like, you don't have like a physical ground guy that's going to feel the Earthquake loss. You have a Sandy Shucks, which is really cool, and it's like a pretty good backup Terra Captain.
Score.
I think Latias is insane. He does have a Gliscor. That's true. Gliscor's okay.
I do like the little synergy between Sneasler like being really forcing and pivoting in on poison types to get Latias, like Terra Poison, Terra Steel, Latias, some setup opportunities.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can just you're happy to bring just poison touch.
Hazard stack.
Sneasler, whatever it's called.
It's pretty
Gliscor is okay. I just noticed it's pretty glaringly Ice Weak.
Yep.
Bar Vaporeon, which is rough. I don't know what Hitmonchan is. I don't know what that guy does.
The only fairy resist outside of Revavroom, who has 67 special defense, is Moltres too. So there's going to be a little bit of slotting issues, I think.
You're true. That's true. Yeah, so like before Latias gets a chance to Terra defensively, it's just you're gonna struggle like a lot
He's gonna have to play
with switch-ins. I definitely just think the bottom three should just be like different Pokemon and Hitmonchan.
Yeah, straight up. I just don't like the bottom half of the team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you need to force like a really bad spinner to make people happy. Like I don't think Hitmonchan's a Pokemon that is ever coming, and I don't think you're particularly hazard weak. Like none of your Pokemon are grounded, for example, or Sneasler, who is immunity spikes. Like I think you're fine. I don't think you need Hitmonchan. Just run Boots on Vaporeon. You're happy, and Moltres, obviously.
Yeah, Chan's all right. I've drafted it as a second fighting before just for spin, and Cope spin's like okay, but Latias, like your levitating guys are either already running Boots regardless of your spin potential, or they're spike immune and not weak to rocks, and this team just generally doesn't exactly care that much about hazards.
Yeah, I've also just noticed I was too nice to Hitmonchan. This guy has 76 base speed. This is the worst Pokemon I've ever seen. So.
Hey man, that 110 special defense and with an assault vest
50 base HP is gonna run wild.
Iron Fist, Mach Punch, Bullet Punch. It's not so bad.
Yeah, it's like, why is it more expensive than him on top?
That I'm not totally sure, but I can't speak to that one. But
okay. Yeah, I think the strengths of this draft are really there. It's just way more intimidating, and powerful than the draft rank below it. I think
to get things done. I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
I think with a Rillaboom.
Perhaps I treated it too harshly, but at the same time, I think you guys put it too high, so I balanced it out.
That's okay then.
All right.
Who's next?
I am next. The RF page on the dock at number 11. I put myself at 7 though. My team is way better.
Put it at what I put at 12.
Gulp.
I think you guys put me at 11 and 12 or something.
Let's go.
I really like the offense is definitely really functional. Bundle and Serp are just like these two uncontestable special demons that can chip down any special wall really, so they do it for each other.
Yeah, and gouging, they're really good at breaking for gouging fire in particular. It's a really terrifying combination. I think Wheezing and Screentail are two unbelievably good picks. Prook's like a bit expensive for 13, but it has like a really good place on the team. It like fits in well. I
personally think more than just Crook is overpriced, but I know you don't agree on.
Okay, yeah, like the whole draft is like 1 point extra. There could just be like another Pokemon here, and it wouldn't look weird. You're right. I don't like Skarmory. I'm a pretty huge Skarmory hater.
Yeah, I'm
pretty good with Skarmory.
I'm not a big fan of Skarm, and I also am not a big fan of Skarm at 14 instead of like 12.
I do think even if it was one that was not fitting amazingly, picking up any spinner that's like a decent Pokemon, R4 or R3 maybe, instead of Serp would have been like, it just like totally, it frees up Gouging Fire and Iron Bundle so much.
Yeah,
good removal.
I really regret not picking a spinner, but like at the same time, by the time I started looking for one, because I prioritized the first 3 first after I got sniped on threads and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Like instead of I think it's okay to be like the first 2 agreed on, and then like, but once you have like Gouging Fire, Iron Bundle, I think that's like alarm bells in my mind that you like really want to back these up with a spinner just to let them, because these are broken Pokemon, right? You really don't want either of them to be on Boots duty.
I do not. I had Iron Bundle last season actually, and I loved that I didn't have to like run Boots every week because I had the good removal.
Exactly. It just like really enables them a lot, which is nice. Like Wheezing has defog in Paldex, unless I'm mistaken. That's not
it does, but then it's gonna conflict a little bit with Skarmory. It's gonna be
exactly. That's another reason I don't think the Skarmory fits super well. Your best removal is defog, and also defog is like a rough move to click in general.
Yeah, and Wheezing isn't exactly a mon you bring every week either. So
yeah, kind of. I think this maybe this is a criticism of the draft. I do think Wheezing's gonna have to come like a lot.
Probably.
Which probably is going to let you bring Broken Screamtail less, which is really sad for sure.
Yeah. See, the reason I usually draft way more defense, and I kind of panicked when I saw like shit I don't have any walls. So then after the first 3, I just picked like 3 really fat mons.
You picked like the most passive ones, man.
See, I think
Screamtail's passivity isn't really. I actually don't agree with that. I think Boss Skarmory, which can whirlwind anyway. I don't think Screamtail is like a particularly, or it is a passive one technically, but like that's a really hard specificity to take advantage of just because of like the fucking Mach 12 Encore it has access to.
Sort of. But its only healing being Wish is a downside for me.
That's
I do
true,
like
but I
either.
don't particularly value. This is gonna sound a bit weird. I don't super value healing on that kind of bulky, pivoting defensive mon. I
But-
think you're
so if you're
usually
not- if
wasting
you're
the
not-
turn anyway.
But if you're not,
And those are fat wishes anyway.
if you're not staying alive for a long time and your offenses are 65, then it's not going to be accomplishing much long term.
Well, it's kind of like a momentum getter, and
It can't really
Just-
though,
just
because
a
it
bulky pivot.
it needs to wish to be worth its points.
to be worth its points, it wants to wish to be worth its points. But if you're just getting it rocks and doing a fast band pass and justifying like its pricing with the threatening the encore with like a quark drive to on booster speed to stop like a really strong dragon dancer and stuff like that you'd otherwise be really weak to. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I think you really want like an expensive bulky guy pivot to support gouging fire and iron bundle as well.
That's
and just
a
get those
big
guys
thing.
in to claim lives.
Sometimes the bulk being so passive isn't horrible when one of your bulky mons can pivot to an offensive mon and actually claim the game back, but that would require bringing Belly Bolt and having a decent Belly Bolt matchup to even do that. The only
Belly
pivot,
Bolt, my beloved.
it's a great mon, but it's not coming all the time, and the only other pivot than Belly Bolt is Iron Bundle. That's not going to get you to other.
Well,
offensive
no,
mons.
Scream Tail has Baton Pass. Yeah.
Oh my god!
But it
Baton
doesn't really
Pass.
like to run it that much.
Baton Pass on my Wish Passer, taking him 3 slots
Yeah,
on my
exactly.
moveset.
I don't
know,
Yeah, you
man.
don't click a wish. Well, you just wish. Why 3 slots? I think you just don't fit protect. You just run wish Baton Pass.
Yeah.
And you go
Sure.
into like fat as fuck gouging fire that just will never die to any one hit
Maybe,
ever in
but
its
then you
life,
have to pick
and it'll
between-
immediately.
Then you have to pick between T-Wave and Rocks and Encore and an attacking move and maybe another coverage move if you want it.
So
Yeah,
those are all good. Yeah,
That's
you
just
just
the
don't get the
problem with
coverage.
Screenkill in general. It has massive 4-move syndrome.
Yeah, but like the 4 moves are going to be broke.
Yeah.
They're all crazy. It's just such an annoying Pokemon to take advantage of properly without fully knowing it's set. Because it could just be T-Wave to cripple, it could be Encore to cripple, and you have to play around that accordingly. And I do think Gouging Fire is perfect for taking down the really bulky steals that want to come in for free off Screen Tail and take advantage of it. That's really good. Superior to with Terra Ground and stuff like that.
Potentially.
I think I'll do fine as long as I don't fall behind. Once that happens, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, it is going to be hard, but like Gouging Fire can steal games,
Yeah,
especially if
it
like you
can.
keep Light Bundle or Fire in the back with a booster, you're like pretty happy with it.
I've seen Gouging Fire like bring a game back when the Spectre was behind the sub. It's insane what that mon can do.
Yeah, Gouging Fire is kind of a demon. Even without
Yeah, it
Terra.
just doesn't take damage. It's really insanely bulky.
Mm.
But yeah, other than that, I
Okay.
think it's cool.
Let's go to the next one, which is Yod at number 10, which is the CHB phase.
I put this really low. I put this 13. Yeah.
I put him at
I don't even remember what I put him. I think I put him at 10, which is
put him at 8 myself.
what
I love his
what
logo.
place are we in? What- We're
We're
at.
at
what?
Yod is
Just
10th. Yeah, we're Yod.
Yeah,
Oh, I
10th.
put him at 9. Okay.
I put him at 8 myself.
I put him at 13. So Yod.
So it's really Tony's fault actually.
It's me. Yeah. So I guess I'll start off then.
Yeah, sure.
I think speed tier wise, Iron Boulder is the most pressured guy of all time ever, and Iron Bundle doesn't necessarily like. I think when I think about Iron Boulder, I really don't like it fulfilling that role of like a revenge killing fast guy. I think you'd really because like anything that isn't dropping to Grassy Glide Rillaboom, Iron Boulder's gonna have to come out and deal with, and that's just like a huge massive pain. Because it means it can't be in the back waiting to boost your energy sweep, which is really sad. 15-point Lando is funny. I do think Veil 8 is like if I was gonna build around Ape, this is pretty much how I would do it. It's like a really effective way. But like 24 points is so much, and I think you can see from the rest of the draft that cost did have like a big impact on the quality.
Honestly,
of the
I
Pokemon.
don't see it super hard.
I think every mon on this team is good aside from Bertic, and Bertic is boosted by snow.
Aside
so
from
I don't-
Mandibuzz, sorry, my bad.
I think Mandibuzz and Tentacruel are pretty middling. Especially one of the Pokemon that's going to have to come every game is going to be Alatails, which is like by itself just not a very good Pokemon. Veil is Grax, obviously, but like the actual Alatails Amon isn't going to contribute much. Goodra H is like okay. Boulder and Rillaboom are really good Pokemon. I think I just mainly just Tentacruel and Mandibuzz I don't think are ideal, and I don't really believe in Landorus Incarnate, especially not on this team. This team's already going to be really good at breaking through fat, so I don't really like Lando here at all. I'd rather it be a more offensive Pokemon.
I do think Lando can also take advantage of the screens though, which is pretty good.
It can, yeah, but I mean,
It's also
well, yeah, it's still going to get disintegrated by iceMove.jpg. And it is a rocker, but like your 15-point Landorus Incarnate is your rocker. Like that's a bit sad. It's your only rocker, and
but it's only 15 points.
And there's no spike. There's no spiker as well. Points. Like pretty rough. I don't know.
At least he gets T spikes with Tentacruel.
Yeah, but like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's like meant to be. Veil is like a very offensive strategy. I don't like Veil pad with these kind of do nothing defensive ones. And like Veil, he might if someone comes unprepared for Veil properly, then they're gonna get like completely destroyed. I do love Veil with Ape, obviously, like Defog procs Defiant, and it can't be bricked away, which is just really strong. But I kind of wish it was shored up a little better with better Pokemon at the end.
Yeah, I think this team does a very good job at supporting the Ape, but it does a like less good job at being a team on its own.
Yeah, exactly. I think if the 8 drops, you're just immediately screwed. Like your 5 is going to be so much worse than your opponent's 5.
Pretty much.
Which is sad because I think one of the coolest things about Ape is your opponent like spends 1,200 hours prepping for it, and you can just lead it and click Gambit. And the opportunity cost of that is disastrous now because you just paid 24 points for it. But in like other leagues maybe where it's a bit lower costed, you don't feel as bad clicking Gambit, and if you have like a secondary win condition to play into, like that Gambit can be like really good, really devastating.
With Terra though, there is also the possibility of them prepping so hard for bulk up that you just run Scarf Terra Ghost and then it just absolutely rips.
Yeah, I think but then your stab is Shadow Claw, right?
Your stab is Terra Blast.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's not horrible.
And then if you get hit, it's Rage Fist. But like,
yeah.
It's gonna hit hard right away. So.
I definitely think Scarf Ape is the second best or even best set for it.
Yeah, honestly, like Scarf Terra Ghost is actually so forcing in so many matchups. It's really incredible.
I do think Scarf naturally has like a big issue breaking through like some really fat fucks though. It just doesn't have like that much immediate power outside of close
honestly,
as long as your opponent isn't just turning into it mindlessly.
Honestly, I think you'd be surprised at the calculator. I think you might be a little surprised at how much damage it can actually do.
How much just like Jolly Ape does with Terra Blast Ghost? I feel like it's not going to be that much, but.
Well, if you're Scarf, you can sometimes run Adamant, so it's not the worst. And then like
that's brave, because if you're Adamant base 90, that's really difficult.
With a Scarf though, it's outspeeding most of the team.
It's not.
Well, yeah, but you're immediately losing to any kind of anything else that boosts speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of sad. I do think
you
usually want to go Jolly to win the Scarf War.
If it's a big progress maker, it doesn't have to be your only source of speed.
Well, in this draft, it kind of does.
Maybe.
Kind of only that's like part of why it is. Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit less true on this one, but that's.
In general, I think you're totally right. There's just like some things that could be showing up a bit.
Yeah. One thing I'm not too big on is the fact that Lando is literally the only form of special offense here, so it's a bit locked in all the time. If Lando drops...
Tentacruel and Alatails just can't really fill that role very well.
I guess Gooter can be offensive, but it really prefers to be defensive.
Yeah, it can be, but it has to take hits to even dish anything out, so it's like kind of mediocre.
It's also only 110. It's just coverage spam or Draco. Anything that doesn't drop to Draco is just gonna really like struggle.
Yep.
To be killed by Guja H, I think. I'm not huge on the Gujas. I do like Guja H personally. I do feel like I can see the fantasy of like your Rillaboom came in, went into Alatails, you got screens up, and now you have a Terra Ape with behind screens with grassy terrain, and you just immediately win the game. Like that's cool, but like if that's not happening, I think this draft is gonna be weaker than others that it's playing against.
Big peaks, pretty bad lows.
Yeah, or even averages, I think.
Okay, so let's move on to the next person, which is Infinite at 9. He is the CHC page on the.
Oh yeah, I think you guys are crazy for this one. I think this draft's really good. I have it at 6.
I put it at 11. I don't like it that much.
Didn't I put it decently? Where did I put it? I gotta find it. Let's see. I put it at 10th. I don't even think I thought this draft was bad. I just thought that at this point, a lot of the teams were really good.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
So I
a
kind
bit
of-
over value.
So I kind of like put some Bs above it.
The problem with this draft for me is that it has one dark resist and it's Iron Valiant.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Yeah,
It's,
but it's a pretty good dark resist.
it's also only Ghost Resist is Mousehold. That's not
Like
fun.
That's true.
Darkrai 6-0 is the Steam and there's nothing you can do about it. Like absolutely.
Valiant beats. Yeah, I mean, Golden Go is going to be Terra Fairying a lot, and so is Salamence actually. So
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know.
Like, yeah.
And then the rest of the Pokemon, like Serena AV Serena isn't dropping to a Ghost move. Mudsdale isn't dropping to a Shadow Ball. Like, and Goldengo is like the Terra. So I think a lot because Goldengo is going to be coming every single game guaranteed. I think that defensive weakness is offshored by Terra a lot actually. And like Goldengo Glamora is just like an obviously intuitive pairing. It's really good. He's supported Glamora really well. Glamora usually struggles to come every game. It can come every game here. It's really good. It's been paired with Pokemon that like really want to be paired with Glamora. And yeah, I think that's really cool.
And the
I
fact that
I don't think. Oh, sorry.
the fact that T-spikes are so hard to get off are going to be forcing the poisons in, which makes them get chipped for Valiant later, which is really fucking good.
That is true.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think this is pretty well constructed. I think it's a bit top heavy, and it's going to struggle with like the 5th and 6th Pokemon just being a bit below average. I don't love Rotom Heat in Gen 9. I don't love Serena. It's better with Axel now, but still, the Slowking is. I don't really know what the Slowking's doing, to be honest. Yeah, this team doesn't really benefit from much. It's very expensive.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't such a slow team. In
Yeah.
general. Like it's Val, and then it's Mousehold, and then it's mid speeds. It's like
Yeah, which is true.
Slash.
I think Goldengo and Salamence are really strong scoffers.
it is, and I think we're
but-
probably gonna see
yeah.
a bit of Scarf Moxie Terra Flying on that guy.
Yeah, I think you could just
pretty
you
good.
could definitely make upgrades to this team to make it a lot better. I don't think Mousehold's ever coming. I don't think Sandslash Lil. I don't know why Sandslash Lil is there. Oh, because it's a cute little chili payoff for Slowking. That's
Yeah.
adorable.
I-
But it's probably not coming.
I do just think like any team that has a decently fast Ghost is going to absolutely tear through this, and it being such a slow team is not going to be fun for that kind of
Steam has
interaction.
nothing for Dragonful or Spectre.
Yeah, it's totally fair. You're like very sad at the Gengar matchup, but I think stuff like Spectre, I don't know. As long as you play with that in mind and you're aware of that, I could see that being
I don't
a
see
weakness
I don't
that
see
you
any
can.
real counterplay to the move Shadow Ball right now, to be honest.
You just
he's gonna-
terrestrialize, baby, and just
Yeah,
kill it with
terrestrialize
your
into
Golden
Ghost.
Go.
Golden Go is going to be
into-
more defensive every week.
Terrestrialize into dark or normal. How fun.
No, I know because I think I don't think there are many special ghosts that are like outside of literally Spectre that are going to be like hitting particularly hard. Shadow Ball's not a really strong move. And I think
It's-
Goldengo with
it's
like a
gonna
bit of
be
bulk
strong
Terra
enough.
Fairy is going to be able to eat.
I think it's going to be strong enough for this specifically.
I don't know. It's a very bulky team. Everything's a fat fuck, to be honest.
That's fair.
Like I think everything here, bar Valiant, is taking one hit minimum, and it's using that to either get into one of the scary guys or just murder you. So I could see this going pretty well, but I do think the 5th and 6th Pokemon is going to be a bit weak a lot of the time, and so that's why it's not like super high. But this is my first A ranked draft. I think I really like it.
It's got its strengths for sure. I kind of rate its flaws a little bit, a bit more importantly than I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think they could patch up and make this draft like way better by like just rearranging the bottom 4 Pokemon. Like I think
Potentially, yeah.
Slowking's a bit of an overpay on this team. I don't think taking advantage of its strengths particularly well. And then Mousehold and Sandslash, you could just make this like a really good Pokemon instead, and then you're like in a really good spot.
Yeah.
A bit more top heavy, I think, would be good, honestly.
Yeah, you could easily turn this into a 9-mon team. And it would
Yeah,
be-
exactly. And then it would be like a really good 9-mon team.
Mhm.
It'd be like really, really, really scary to play against.
Okay,
yeah.
let's move on to number 8, which is Rapid Flames or the RUR dock on the. Oh no, not yeah, it's not RUR.
That's me.
It's TRA. Sorry,
TRA.
on the dock. Rapid Flames at number 8. I put him at number 10 myself.
Nice.
I put him
let
at
me
number 8.
Find it.
I think this draft's pretty solid.
I like it, but I also don't like it. Like
I'm-
I don't like the bottom half very much. As my
Yeah. Well, I love Conkeldurr. I think Conkeldurr's a really intuitive and good pairing with Spectre to punish the fat normals that are
Ooh,
gonna keep
I'd-
coming in on Spectre.
I put Rapid
And
Flames at 7.
Oh,
Yeah, 7 and 8.
Yep.
We have a shared, yeah. I think that's good. I think Spectre is, although it's very expensive for 22, but I think it's a really good mon. So I think it's okay. Meowscarada, I think Meowscarada is a very justifiable first pick in Paldea decks. I think it's if you get it out 2, you're very happy.
Yeah,
and it's a good knocker as well.
Meow just goes so insanely well with like half the other top tiers here, and Spectre is definitely one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bit of a letdown was the fact that you got like the core that could make sure that you never worry about speed forever ever again, and then you didn't get anything within the 110 range, so it's going from Meowscarada to Thundy. So there's
that
like
was Dundee Eye.
oh no, it's Thundy.
Yeah, but if it was, it
Oh
would be
yeah,
so much
If it was Thundy, fun fact, I got that exact core in 88 goals, and with the
Oh.
Terra Tatsugiri, it was beautiful. It worked.
Yeah, it sounds nasty.
fantastically.
Also,
I don't know
Thunderous-
about Volcanion as a Terra
Don't
captain.
fucking-
I'm really
yeah.
curious.
I was just about to say Thunder should be a Terra captain.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Volcanion definitely does feel out of place. Usually when you want to Terra something that has like a water immunity type, it's because you're like weaker to it. Like you're weaker to water, and you can just kind of cover every water, but you're not weak to water. You have an Araquanid that can't even get scald burned. You have a Gudra at the end that you compensated for waters for, and you can break them fine. So
There's a Rakuna too of Absorb. If you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be a
oh,
gamer.
true. Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be
I
absorbed if
also-
you want to be super.
On
gamer.
a Rakuna with Webs Up, this is the most terrifying draft on the board with Webs Up.
Yeah, it's
Um,
actually
it's
insane
disgusting.
how well that was. How well
Yeah,
that was
especially
done.
like Volcanion goes from I'm not sure to like holy shit, I have to play against
Yeah.
Volcanion and
And then-
Conkeldurr with
then-
Webs Up.
Yeah,
and
then
everything's a
Conk,
nightmare.
You either
Yeah.
cannot take the hit, period, or you underspeed it after a turn.
Yeah, I like Conkeldurr. Is like such an amazing pick for this draft. It does so much here. I
Mhm.
really love in Conkeldurr. I think it's such a nice meta prep against. It's
Definitely.
like Mamoswine-esque, honestly,
Yeah.
for me.
Fun,
But yeah,
fun
and-
fact, on my version of this team, I had a Terra Ursa Luna regular, so I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
definitely with
similar
the
kinda.
wave of getting something like Conk on this. It's really
Yeah. Yeah, I'm mostly just, maybe Terra Volcanion is completely cracked and this draft goes up a bit, but in my head, it's not incredible. It's a bit slow. It's probably just trading 1-for-1 outside of Webs.
To be honest,
Most games.
if you can't afford the Thundy T Terra, then honestly,
Yeah,
I
no,
would
I almost agree. Yeah.
I would like
It's
to
just-
see the Conk Terra.
Could
Honestly,
be- Oh, really?
I think that could be fucking insane. To be honest,
That's pretty funny. Terra normal facade from a Conkeldurr.
Yeah.
Pretty nasty.
yeah.
I don't love Fortress in general. I don't think it's super amazing on this team either. It's not bad
I
though.
think it's gonna have to come like a lot of games as well.
Yeah, which I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a Fortress
immediately.
fan.
Unless he runs D4 on Conkeldurr.
Well, you can just. I think you're okay to just boots the Volk and boots the Thunderous and just play without removal. I think that's totally fine. That's not a big issue.
Theory you can, but it's like
You also have a lot of initiative as far as hazards are concerned. Like you have a Diancie, which is an excellent spiker. You have a Masquerado, which is an excellent spiker, and you have Webs as well. Like I feel like your opponent's gonna spend the game much more concerned about removing hazards than you are most games. So I don't think that's something you have to be super concerned about because it's not a very defensive playstyle. I don't think offensive playstyles have to worry about hazards as much, just innately.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a better removal would definitely free up Volcanion a little bit, which would be nice. In general, I think I'd just rather Volcanion with something else.
But yeah, for
Like,
me,
then
this,
I could-
for me, this team was entering like that realm where everything's good, and you just kind of have to pick between the gold.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this I ranked like easy B. It could definitely move up a little bit for sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't have like too much other criticism to have. It's just like for me, it's just the speed tiers and then the weird Terra Cap decision.
I don't think the speed says you don't like that much. I don't
It's-
think. Like,
it's
what does having a 110 do? Because if a 110 still can't run
It's
modest against you.
it's really just the stuff between Gren and Iron Valiant can all run attack boosted natures.
Gren can run modest. Yeah, true. What's Val?
It's
Val's
like
116, so that can as well. Yeah. You're actually right now.
I mean, I think Val barely can barely speed
Oh,
ties.
can it
Thundee.
not?
I think it barely.
Oh,
speed
it's speed ties. Yeah, never mind. So it's just Greninja,
It's like,
which, to be
it's
fair,
like the other Libero
does kind of
Pokemon-
obliterate this entire draft. So that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's like the other Libero Pokemon, and then like Roaring Moon, and then Val can choose to if it wants to like run Modest, because I think it can still run the booster.
Yeah. I don't think you're worried about Cinderace of this draft, really. So I think it is mostly.
I wouldn't downplay it though, because neutral hits from Libero is still going to do damage to Volcanion.
But I think every neutral hit, yeah, Spectre is immune to, so you're like really scared to click. I think maybe that's wrong.
Maybe
but,
you kind of have to play.
In
well
my
to get
head,
around
it's
it,
not. Yeah, and a racket also. Like, I don't know. It's like definitely not great, but it's not like the end of the world. I feel like. But Greninja is really scary for sure. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Let's move on to the next one then.
Oh,
We have Robbo at 7, which is the did page on the dog.
Did
I put him 10th. I'm still upset at what he did to his own
I
draft.
think I actually like this team after looking at it for longer.
It's probably fine. It just was better like 10 minutes
I had
ago.
his at 6.
I had him at 9.
6 is so high. Damn.
I honestly really like it.
I have 10th.
I think it kind of has everything it needs. Some things are a little bit weak, like having your ground type be Flygon is pretty mediocre. But a lot of the defensive holes that were there initially, I think gets patched pretty decently by Arboliva or Arboliva, whatever, and then that being Terra makes it way more bringable, which is really nice.
I think if you're patching a hole with Arboliva, you're not patching a
Listen,
hole.
if this
really.
was if this was a regular Arboliva,
it's like a sinking ship, and you're like, it's okay, we got powered for Mache, boys.
It's not like a crazy defensive hole. It kind of just removes certain like resistances that you wouldn't have, which is like, it's a deal, but it's not like a crazy deal because he was Slowking Galar and a Clefable.
Well, the defensive hole would be there's literally not even an electric resist in the top 9 Pokemon.
Right, it does.
And then, but then he's patched a hole with an Arboliva and a Flygon, which are 2 Pokemon I really don't believe in.
But I do believe in Terra Arboliva is a big difference. I've actually used it before, and I think it's actually really decent.
It's okay, but you're gonna Terra into. You have to Terra into grass or ground to keep the same role on the team.
Well, yeah, but you can choose when
Like
you
pitching
can choose
into
when you
that.
Terra it though. So all the offensive stuff, like, you're eventually gonna get broken through if you sit through the game long enough. Like, as long as you have that initial pivot that you can do and like at least neutralize like the Mon count for a little bit before you start making good progress.
Like, you can bring Arboliva in on a Volt Switch once, and then they still have the initiative. I don't know if it's like it's not horrible. It's not like really bad, and for 7 points it's worth. But like,
Yeah.
I think a high. You're also then you can't Terra Azelf, which is a really good Terra captain, and that's really sad.
That's true. Yeah, Azelf is really nice on this for sure.
Yeah, I just think if you had patched that hole in particular with like a higher tier Pokemon, you would be in like a really good spot suddenly, because your top 3 is broken.
Imagine, if you will, eject button.
Realistically,
Arboliva comes in on a Volt Switch into Hitmonlee, and then it destroys everything.
Oh my god, you're not even wrong. That's beautiful. You've ruined like the surprise factor with that now. But like, yeah, I think he made his draft considerably worse in an attempt to fix that hole. I think just living at that hole would have been way better. Because
I think
I don't
those
know what
holes
this
were always
draft.
going to be there, and you like Flygon's.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's exactly, yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, that hole's still there, and now you're bringing a bad Pokemon, and your draft is worse. Like, I would have just plated the hole up. I don't know what this draft is doing, spending 15 points on a Clefable. I do hate Clefable, but I think some drafts can justify that price. Some drafts can justify that price. This absolutely just is not one of them. Like, there's so many holes that need fixing. That's splurging on your fairy so much. I don't think
there's like an insane amount of holes that really need fixing. Like,
really defensively on this draft, I think it's like.
I think a good portion of it was actually fixed by the Terra Arboliva, and the fact that it's Terra makes it really good. So I think that it's fair. Again, the games that you're playing are not going to last forever. You don't need to be like this tanky mess forever. You can out offense, and at least having that option to deal with it initially is going to be enough. Because the support for Palafin here is really incredible.
Yeah, especially I love Palafin spared with Cinderace. I love it so much. It's just like when I see Palafin, my first instinct is to hazard stack to limit it a lot.
Right.
And Cinderace completely shuts that down.
Yeah, and then they both break each other's bulky water checks. It's
yeah,
a match made
exactly.
in
Yeah,
heaven, truly.
Glowking's great. I would have liked Glowking to be a bit. See, Glowking could be paired with like a Kyurem, and then suddenly it's just so much better into like electric moves and
That
stuff.
is potentially very
It's just
true.
like so nice.
Yeah,
Like
that could be nice.
yeah, or like Bax is still up. Like Bax instead of something, and then a cheap shitty fairy instead of Clefable. but then you have a Baxcalibur, baby. Like
True,
you can just
true.
I don't know. It's pretty nice.
So yeah,
Azelf is fantastic as a Terra captain, and it really
yeah, it's super good.
it really does effectively fill the hole of their top 4 being like low offensive in the special department. Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. Other than that, and I think it was just so much better before the changes. What were the changes? Florges, Hydreigon, Appleton for Clefable, Flygon, Hitmonlee. I think 1-to-1. Those are just all bad. It was Terra Hydreigon for our believer. You think that patches the hole better?
Well, yeah, you're probably right that was not a great set of trades, but it doesn't take away from what it currently is to me. It's fine. Even though
I take moral issue with it, but
yeah, maybe.
yeah, that's why it's like 10th. Otherwise, like in terms of like
you were just mad. It's okay.
I
to be
am
mad.
I am mad. We'll
just have
see
to
you
accept that
mad.
you're
We'll
mad.
get to King Bob soon.
I do like that the trades gave him like a lot
Don't bring
more
up
rockers.
King Bob to me right now. I'm not.
What
in
did the
mood.
trades give him?
Like a lot more rockers, stealth rockers.
A lot more rockers. Hydreigon's a rocker.
Hydreigon is a rocker, yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not do that.
So it's actually and so it's the same amount of rockers actually. His rockers didn't change, but other
No,
than that, yeah.
Flygon gets rocks now. Did you know that?
Did it really?
I don't care,
Yeah,
dude.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Flygon's broken. 6 points. Wow.
Man, I don't care if Flygon gets rocks, bro.
Just get rocks. That's the best
I
thing you
don't
can do
give
with
a
Flygon.
shit, man. This thing is horrible.
But I do know Robo's playstyle, and like he likes to like draft mons that can take hits and then just like continue doing his offense things. And I think this
Yeah,
draft.
and that's how I like to do
Yeah.
offense too. But I think Hydreigon Florges like did that like really well. I'm very curious
It did,
about.
yeah.
I'd love to talk to him about. I got Appleton going. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hearing like no Appleton leaving the draft was critically bad for it. Well, like I don't know. Florges and Hydreigon are so good.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I think it was better before the transactions.
Imagine if he just gets them back.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, do it. Like honestly. Who's next? Oh, this goat.
Oh yeah, it's
Love this guy.
the mom page.
Mom.
Huge fan.
Mom.
Ooh,
This draft is really bad. It has a Swalowton and Ogre.
No.
Not to mention
This draft
Hitmontop.
is terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I actually might
isn't
have ranked it too high.
I hate it, honestly.
Oh, this is you, Phony? My bad.
If I drafted this, I'd feel really bad. What, it's me? Dude, I have a Swallow. What was I thinking? Yeah, I think it's just I really like it. I'm really excited to use it. I don't think it's like the best thing in the world, but it's so fun to build with already.
I placed this one 8, so exactly middle of the pack.
I put it at 6. I got it right.
Let's go.
You
I
got
put
it
it
right.
7th, so yeah.
Wait, what
Um,
are we at? 7?
We're at 6th.
Or
We're at
6th,
okay.
yeah.
Good job, Phony.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
really
man.
like the
Appreciate
first two, like Garchomp and Deoxys paired. Like it's just the hazard spam, which is really nice. The only problem is that your only removal yourself is Hitmontop, so it's like meh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's okay. It's like a bit what I said earlier about having initiative as far as hazards
Yeah.
go. Like if I have like insane hazards myself, I think I'm okay. Webs is a bit frightening though. Don't worry.
The Terra Ledge is gonna be like your scariest mon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that guy's really cool. I definitely, when I was looking at the draft board, I really wanted like a middle of the mark Terra. If I didn't get Raging Bolt, and I was 10th pick, so I ended up like, okay, Garchomp's just the best Pokemon on the board. Goodbye, Raging Bolt dreams.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
was
really
I was mad when you took Rotom Wash from me, but I
remember
really
that.
understand.
The old-
I really understand why you got it because it was really important to get a really good pivot on this.
Yeah, I wanted like all I wanted was a Blocky Water pivot, and like
That
nine
was-
of them had got taken before, and I was like, oh my god, if Wash goes too, we're on like Vaporeon duty, and we're just sad.
Yeah, that was a perfectly
um,
reasonable pick for sure. I do,
Yeah.
however, dislike Klefki immensely.
Really?
Yep, I don't like it this generation, and
That's
I also don't think you really
interesting.
needed it.
I hate
Other
Klefki.
than its typing, like I don't think you needed it,
Mm.
and you
I actually, sorry, go on.
and you did have like 2 loose picks at the end. I think it could have been spread out a little bit, to be honest. I just
Yeah,
think,
absolutely.
I just think Klefki's pretty bad, and you like had all the tools that it can offer, and it's a really passive, no
What was
pivot mon.
So I would say it is kind of passive, and it does have no pivot, which is true. But I think screens bring so much to this draft.
You already
I
had
think
you did already have access to screens though. You had DO speed and you had Rotom.
Yeah, but I really want to. Yeah, but it's like super pivotal to it's like to a lesser extent Rotom Wash, but I don't want to bring Rotom Wash every game. And I think
you don't want to bring Rotom Wash every game.
No, absolutely not. But I think I really want to. I really want to free up DOS. I don't want my 21 pointer to be on screens duty. That's
but like
tragic.
It's like for me, it's like screens are not an essential. It's not going to be coming every game. Like it doesn't have to. And then if you did want it, you had two really great options for it. I just don't think Klefki was needed.
Yeah, it's okay. That's fair. I don't feel like there was one Pokemon there in Klefki that I like really wanted. I did want a Steel type so that I wasn't forced into Terra Fairy on one of my Terras every single game.
Right, yeah. You definitely wanted a Steel type for sure.
Yeah, and then I wanted Swallow Alcremie to be Arbok, which got yoinked. But I think those are insanely high value 1-pointers that I would personally... Alcremie especially, I think it's like a 3 or 4-pointer. And you can definitely like steal a game.
It gets Encore, which is pretty nice.
Well, that's whatever, but it's like fine.
Yeah.
And him on top, I think, is unbelievable for 3 points.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was like, but like, yeah, it's just, you know. Yeah, it just shouldn't be. It just should be like 4 or 5 at least.
Even though you do have a Swallow and a Hitmontop, I do still think the T-Spikes are going to be really fucking annoying for you, though.
Yeah, absolutely. T-Spikes are definitely a very big issue.
I have to bring one every game.
Yeah.
Or spam boots.
And like Hitmontop is it's probably better than 3, but I also don't think it's good. Like in the grand scheme. So
that's fair, yeah, absolutely.
It's
so yeah, it's not a Pokemon I want to. If I'm bringing him on top every game, I'm really unhappy about that. I agree with that.
Yeah. It gets whittled down very fast.
I think I can either bring like if I want to engage in that kind of balanced approach to the games, I can bring one of the removals or boot spam, or I can just out offense my opponent with what I have, which I think the draft is like okay at. Doing so. Yeah, that's why I'm not super horrified about T-Spikes, but it's definitely like something that limits the potential of a lot of my Pokemon and will force them for sure.
Yeah, but it's good. It's definitely a good team. Again, the start of like the gold. So.
Aww. Yeah, I'm so happy to move on. I feel so awkward rating my own draft. I hate it.
Let's go over to number 5, which is
Piss. You gotta call him Piss. Piss is his first name, please.
What's it? What's the abbreviation?
TAT.
TAT. There it is.
Chien-Pao, the most broken mon on the board straight away.
I love this draft. Yeah, I do think Chien-Pao is the best pick. I think Lando, Primarina, Chien-Pao is like an unbelievable core Pokemon, and you have, I think, one of, if not the best spinners for price points.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
in Pagos.
Absolutely. Yeah, that thing is amazing.
Which really frees up Chien-Pao like really hard, so it doesn't have to be on boost duty, which is really great. Peturan, I think. I'm unsure how I feel about it as a Terra Captain, but I'm a big fan of the Pokemon. I think it's really fun.
I think it being a Terra Captain gives it so much more defensive capabilities.
So yeah, that's really true. Like, yeah.
This team kind of lacks otherwise as well. So.
I think Peturan's typing is really critically important here. I really like its typing, so I think it's a bit sad. You're a bit sad if you Terra it, honestly.
It is a good base typing for the team, but like again, you can choose to Terra it, like when to Terra it. So
yeah,
I don't take that away from it. A big thing, I never actually seen Terra Peturan and how it works, but I have a lot of faith in Terra Ghost sets. I think that actually gives it some good offensive value too.
Yeah.
Because that also will take away the weakness to ground, which makes you a better spin blocker versus the Donphans, and then having the spammable Ghost Stab off the base 88 whatever, it's pretty good.
Have you calced the Donphan hit? I'm fine, thanks, Grandpa. I'm busy. Sorry.
I know that it can take the hits, but if it's gonna be forced to click recover after coming in on whatever it's doing because it has to, it's gonna be passive, and that's a problem for me personally.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I was prepping a Peturan in that Dex League, and I was calculating against +1 Charizard X and just laughing because Earthquake doesn't 2 KO. Like it's like the mon when you actually invest in that bulk, the mon is completely unbelievable.
Yeah,
And it's really funny.
really bullshit. You can kind of just run the plus nature on defense and not invest anymore in it because the nature just fucking turns it into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Metagross is a really competent Terra Captain. I assume it's going to Terra Captain I assume it's going to Terrestrialize way more often than Petron. It just feels crazy to be like, look at his pick on like how did he have points for everything? It's just really, really good.
Well,
you have a screens mode, and oh my god, like you can run like max speed, modest Primarina and webs, and it's gonna just nuke through everything. Metagross is gonna nuke through everything with webs up as well. Even Petron to an extent is really enabled offensively by webs. I don't know what Cobbing's doing. He's there. He's hanging out. He's a cool little dude.
I think the only big problem that I had with it was there is a massive speed gap between 119 and 91 on this team.
Ooh, that's a pretty big one.
It is huge. Everything from like Iron Val to like Enamorous is gonna be able to run Modest or Adamant.
Yeah, sure.
Again, the bulk is never gonna like it.
But he does have quite a lot of good priority to make up for it as well, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you just named this Pokemon. I don't think any of them are like really happy with this matchup, even with the offensive natures that they're enabled by.
It's everything in between,
like,
so it's like all the 110s, all the 109s. It's gonna be a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, true. It's rough, and that is definitely like the one. That's like the one drawback, really, honestly.
Yeah, that's like the one big one. And honestly, everything from here forward kind of doesn't have that huge issue that can be exploited. So that's why it's at 5 for me. But otherwise, it's an insanely good team.
Absolutely. I like Roaring Moon a lot. I like it on this draft to really free up Chen Pao.
Honestly, well. dark spam is insane, and the fact that you compensated for Chen Pao not having access to knock with something that can do it as like the best thing on the board is incredible.
Like, absolutely. Yeah,
and you got really it so late too. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just such a crazy pickup, honestly, and I like the Beak of a lot. It's just a really. You don't like Roaring Moon?
Like it's just mid.
Okay, the roaring mid allegation hive mind has entered.
Listen to yourself.
It's hacked into this call. That's unfortunate.
It's good on paper, right? But it just struggles to perform every fucking time.
Yeah, but it's not your only dark type on this draft.
I just love it. I've drafted it, and it's just done well for me every time. That was before knockoff as well, when it was really good for me. It's just an incredible choice Pokemon, one of the best choice banders in the game, I think, honestly. It spams knock. I don't know what else.
It has this really consistent stat pool, and it's a fast knocker, which is incredible. And the fact
I think offensive is so flexible, and it's so fat as well, especially.
Yeah, I think if it were the only dark type on this team, you could kind of make that case. But I think the fact that it's not is really giving to its. It's like not pressured to do anything. It can kind of just do whatever the fuck it wants, other than just be the speed tier that it is.
I don't think compounding the fairy weakness is very relevant at all when you have Petra and Metagross. Just like two unbelievable Pokemon that can come every game.
Right.
Plus, he doesn't really have any other fairy weak mons either.
Exactly. Well, it's compounding with Chen Pao, and like the issue there in theory would be that there's like two Pokemon that are going to be taking initiative a ton, and they're always going to be out revenge killing and letting your opponent's fairies in for free. But then, Metagross and Petra patch that entirely.
Yep.
That's a problem, I think. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's a really good draft. Who's next?
Next up is Ty, who we all put at 4. He has the Vag fish.
We literally all put it at 4. Let's go. Oh, this is my first S tier draft.
Yeah, I really like the team, but as I said before, like the first 7 are okay, and the rest is just unusable shit.
I think I am more up on Pheasantipity and Bramblegast. I think they're fine Pokemon. I agree, everything else is unbringable. And it's never coming, and I don't think it matters because I think the other guys are so unbelievably busted here. Uxie is perfectly filling the weaknesses of this draft, and I'm a big Uxie fan, so I like that a lot. Bramblegast is like okay, and I don't think you're super weak to hazards anyway, and you have Great Tusk, so you're happy. And I think Bramblegast might just come once to like free up Great Tusk when you want to bring it like more offensively, like a booster speed. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Bramblegast could also just come offensively itself and be like a ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because its moves are like super short, and like a high cost Poltergeister, like Ceruledge, you could just your opponent's probably not going to prep for it at all, or pretty poorly if it does, and yeah, it's like really good. Yeah, I love Pheasantipity, Great Tusk as well. I think that sounds really, really annoying to play against. As like a cute little duo of Pokemon.
I think like the only thing is that like it's a little bit slower of a team, but it's made up for by really good priority, which is very nice, including the prankster Illumise at the end with the prankster encores and T-waves and shit.
Yeah, you got like 122 Greninja and then 110 Lycanroc. Yeah, it's not horrible. It's like definitely could be faster, but then like the average speed isn't that low. It's just like there's a lot of like 80s and 90s that I think are okay.
But then also the Terra Electric Thunderclaps and the Terra Rock Excel Rocks. It's honestly not that big of a problem, but it's
not at all. And I love priority. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I think those Terra Caps are really good. I think they're both incredible Terra Captains. I think Raging Bolt is the best Terra Caps on the entire board, easily when taking points into consideration. I don't think anything else is as aggressively costed as the Raging Bolt. Everything that can like contest it, I think, is like a 22 or 24 pointer.
The only issue for me is that Tusk is kind of forced to run spin every game, but it kind of does it anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
He does, to be fair, have 2 other spinners.
Yeah, he has 2 other spinners, and also I think Tusk is happy to click Rapid Spin. It's like one of the bar Terrapagos. I think Tusk is the happiest out of any Pokemon to click Rapid Spin, because suddenly your Tusk has +1 speed and it's just gonna murder everything.
That is a fair point.
So like Rapid Spin can fit on an offensive Tusk set. It's not like you're pigeonholed into defensive the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a really good poke, very top heavy, but like very strong. Definitely deserved its S tier from me. I think it's really good. I think Greninja's broken, and I'm really sad that he sniped me. I really wanted Greninja with Garchomp.
Yeah, that top 6 is just gonna be coming to like basically every game, and it's gonna be effective. It's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 3, which is Gorex.
Gorex.
He has the CAL page. Cal. His team is genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, it's horrible. Archulodon as a 15-point without terror, I think, is the way to. Oh, sorry. Like I was talking about, like the perspective as facing it. Like I feel dread. Sorry. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Terrible. It's pretty top heavy, but then every low cost Pokemon can come, and they're all good Pokemon. So I don't know. It's like fine. Mew is. I know. I'm hesitant on Terra Mew and Paldex, but I know Gorex is like a crazy player, so I know he's gonna bring like a really. I think Mew's skill ceiling is like extremely high on sweeper stats.
Yeah. And
that's what's coming. Like Mew, Quaquaval are just gonna steal so many games, and it's so horrible to prep against them. Ogrepun's good. Archaludon without terror is absurd value, just as a 15-pointer. It's just one of the best things on the board. Darkrai. 21 is a lot for Darkrai, and I don't love that, but I think the rest of the board is like really insane. And Darkrai's still like a fantastically good Pokemon. Dark Pulse is a really broken move to just click.
Yeah. I mean, this team is pretty fast, which is nice, and the boosters can boost their speed. And
yeah, it's just balls to the walls offense,
it's great.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really good.
If he plays a Zoroark well, he can just like make holes in people's.
Zoroark's hilarious. It's just like Zoroark's just another add-on to how annoying this team is to prep against. It's like so. I just don't want to. I just like imagining it now, and I'm so miserable thinking about it.
It's gonna be tough.
It's hell.
You lead Zoroark, and you could just kill something turn 1, and you have nothing to do about it.
Yeah, like Terraquack and Darkrai are both really expensive. I think they're overpriced on the dock, but I also think they're just like deservedly really good, and I think he's built around them really well. And they, there's a reason they're 21 points still.
What I'm dreading.
Terrifying.
What I'm dreading is, I think, honestly, like T-Wave spam. With the dark pulse spam and the fucking Quack entry points off T-Wave, it's gonna be absolutely asshole, and it's gonna be demonic. It's gonna be
what's T-Waving?
Granbull, Mew, Arc, and Darkrai can all T-Wave.
I feel like those last 3 are kind of fake with T-Waving, because Mew doesn't have none of them have recovery, right? So I think the bulk they can. I actually guess have like an annoying like Mew of like Hazard's T-Wave. That wouldn't be horrible. Hazard's T-Wave Memento, bring in a boy and start clicking buttons. It sounds pretty miserable to play against, actually, now I'm thinking about it. But that's a good point. Maybe a better T-Waver would have actually been like.
Should have never streamed though.
I kind of like I usually don't actually like Granbull that much, but I like it at the end for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's here. Every low pointer can come on this team. It's like really. Which for a top heavy is terrifying. Like Electivire will have a matchup. Gligar, Gorex has really pilled me on Paldex Gligar. He's put in like so much work of it in the replays he showed me. I think that's like really sick. I'm gonna look to pick it up soon.
Sorry, I think people undervalued it a lot because of its losing Roost, but I think that's not such
Yeah,
a big deal.
and like I just assumed that as well, and I hadn't like critically thought about that, and now I'm critically thinking about it. I'm like, I never want to be clicking Roost with my NFE in Gen 9. What the hell? No, I just want to click spikes and die. It's fine.
Yeah. And then
I'll
motor
cut it out.
motor drive on the Electivire at the end, also just being an additional way to support Gligar and being the only electric immunity is pretty nice too.
Yeah, it's just good stuff. I really like it. Archaludon's just not taking anything from T-Bolts and Bolt Switches, and in fact, it's benefiting from them because of stamina. Like, it's just crazy.
I think like the only like scary thing is being able to deal with special offense with this team is going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit difficult because a lot of the walls are really dedicated to their physical defense stats. So it's going to be like Assault Vest Arch like, every single game.
He does also have only one fairy resist, which is weak.
Yeah,
Isn't great.
It definitely can get taken advantage of offensively, but that offense has to be there long enough to actually deal with this.
You're just dying to everything, and you have to play the whole game so carefully around just because you can just instantly lose to Mew or Quack if you lock yourself into something.
Right.
That's just really horrible. Yeah, I do think like one spike against this team is going to do so much work, and there isn't really like a great way to remove it. I don't think Quack is like wants to click rapid spin ever.
Yeah, Quack being the Terra Cap and the only spinner is not great.
Yeah, which is fine because these games aren't going to last very long anyway. But like that one spike is a lot of value to get against this draft. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to get hazard stacked, but I just think they're just going to spike up once, and that spike is going to be really annoying to deal with.
Yep.
And then
So
who's number 2?
We have Wagon Fruit himself.
Insane. There's an insane delusion going on. This is the best
meme.
draft. It's beautiful. I want to use it. It's so fun.
I am the person who drafted it, and I don't agree with you.
Yeah, I know, but it's so fun. It's so cool. It's just like so fun to use, man. I just want to play.
I am
this
really
draft.
excited to use this. You guys can talk.
Other than Green, every single Pokemon here is a Pokemon I like totally 100% believe in and think is really good. I think Talonflame looks so fun to use and kind of eliminates the drawback of like Talonflame not being able to hit particularly hard because now you have double stab Brave Birds. I do think it's like only ever going to tear into a stab, and that's like super.
It's gonna be tearing into a stab or tearing into like ground or something.
I think it's good. Like maybe the Heatran matchup, but like are you really scared of Heatran in this? Look at your team. Everything disintegrates Heatran anyway.
Defensive a lot of work as well.
Maybe. Honestly, personally, I don't see myself doing that, but I can.
I don't have a lot of faith in Talonflame as a defensive Pokemon. I think it's like every time I use Talonflame with boots, I hate my life. Every time I bring Banded Talonflame, I'm like, holy shit, this is broken. It's just like, it's just like kind of I don't know. It's really fun.
One thing I will give it though is it being able to make Pokemon against the Sand Core not want to click CC because of Flame Body is going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, true, and you've supported that. Like that's a shared weakness, but you supported that in Enam, which is 4 times restrict. Quillfish, which is amazing for that. Reuniclus, which is amazing for that. Decidueye, everything's picked for like a reason, and everything supports those Excadrill, T-Tac, Kyurem, which are just beasts. And Enam's really good too.
The reason I went with Enam Drill is because I think Enam's going to be pressuring a lot of the things that that Drill, or like pressuring it or making it rethink EVs for things that like the high tiers that are going to deal with Drill, like Corviknight, like Skarmory, like Zapdos. Those mons are going to be
they bring
consider Enamorous as well.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really true as well. And just defensively, it's like super intuitive why these are an amazing core. I think every single weakness is covered by each other.
Yep,
and just in 2 Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. Other than I guess Water.
But then I have a Kyurem for that.
You do have a Kyurem for that, and I'm a bit scared about stuff like the Palafin matchup is going to be pretty horrible. I think you're going to have to bring Reuniclus of like Terra Grass or Terra Water.
I do have a Decidueye at the end that can help me.
You do, and I love Decidueye. That's my guy. I think the only reason to not rate this first is if you haven't like had experience with these lower tiers, but I've used every single one of them, and every single time I fucking loved bringing them. I wanted to bring them to like way more games than I expected.
I have definitely had experience with all these low tiers, and one thing that I'm always sure to do with Decidueye is never have it be pressured to defog ever. So I have Drill.
Yeah, it's not even defog. It just comes.
And then T-Flame can if it wants to. So it can spam dark moves. It can spam ghost moves. I mean. So
Yeah, it's great, and you have a lot of initiative hazards anyway, because Quillfish can come along. And Quillfish is great, and
I hate
yeah, I think it might. If I have any criticism, it's that you're gonna struggle to pick a 6 for every draft.
yeah, maybe.
It's like, no, like maybe the average power of your 6 might be lower than someone else's, I guess, maybe because your points are very spread out. And
Right,
good
yeah,
Pokemon.
that's like
But that's gonna make it hard to prep against.
that's kind of the only weakness that I found myself when I was trying to review the team, and
Yeah, for
that
sure.
is enough of a weakness to put it under number 1 for me. Because
fair.
I think
I
number
think,
1 is
like,
fucking
yeah.
bullshit.
I
is-
could
it
think, yeah,
actually-
number 1, yeah. This could be number 2 for sure. I personally just when I think about a draft I want to use, this is the draft that I would want to use more than anything else. This is just so fun. I really want to swap.
You're not getting it. Sorry.
Ah, whatever. An Overcoat Reuniclus is immune to sand and spore, so Breloom is shagged. He just can't do anything.
Let's
But
go.
why would you run
worst, bro.
Overcoat when you can just run Magic Guard?
Because
Immune to spore, dude. The Breloom
yeah.
match.
Yeah, but wow.
Sand and spore. It's the Breloom matchup. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Alright, let's see. So we want to move on to number 1,
Yep.
which is McNutt
Nick
himself.
Butt.
it's a
Luigi's
long name.
Mansion.
Why did he pick Luigi's Mansion?
I don't
That's
know, but it's awesome. I really like that the best team is Luigi's Mansion.
just for real. But the
I'm
first,
really mad about the Tinker
first three, those first 3 are gonna be like fucking dangerous as well with the Terrazapdos.
This is like the highest value team I've ever seen in my life. It's
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
so
really
many
ridiculous.
things that don't have switch-ins.
It's so good.
and so many things that are the best at what they do, which is
You know how you're
crazy.
flaming my calf key? Imagine if it was a Tinkaton, and then look at my draft. It's so sad. Whatever, it's fine.
yeah. Tinkaton
yeah.
and Donphan are insane glue pieces. Samurott is the best spiker in the game. Torn does what it does, unlike anything else. Even if some people might not have like the best opinion of it right now, it still does what it does. Really,
I have a
fucking
pretty high opinion of it as a nasty block sweeper. I think it's really strong.
I like
overall.
I
Torn,
do
but
too.
it just misses everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember why I put this second. I think every broken move on this team is 90% or 80% accuracy, and I think over the
Yeah.
course of the season, that is going to be reflected in the standings. I think it's just going to lose some games to hacks, which is unfortunate, but it's what it is. Like you're going to miss a Ceaseless and a Bleak Wind, and suddenly you're 32 points worth of Pokemon.
that could very well
murdered
be a very
for free.
legitimate criticism. I personally am just not gonna think about it like that. The way I think about it is 80% or 90% of the time.
This is the best
This
draft on
is
the
the
board.
best draft on the
Yeah.
board. So
100%.
for me,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's the best on the board. But that could be
totally.
a legitimate criticism that you could knock it down maybe 1 peg, but I still think it's the best.
Yeah, it's still unbelievable. The differences between it and like the other S tiers isn't
Yeah.
particularly high. I think it's like super cracked. Yeah. And with average luck, like you said, this is going to run through literally everything. It's really unbelievable. There's so much offense from every single aspect of this team. Everything can come. I love Zapdos G as like a cheap Terra Captain. I'm not sure how I feel about Latios as a Terra Captain. I know people think it's like incredible, and it's sitting there at 24 points. I think 24 points is kind of crazy, but the rest of the draft is really good Pokemon, so there's nothing to really sniff at.
Yeah, I don't think this has any actual weaknesses to me. Like I just didn't really find anything. Maybe there is one. I don't know.
No, there's really not much.
But yeah,
I guess freeze dry kinda, but you just take it on an Arcanine.
Yeah, but Tinkaton, yeah. Your Kyurem's like Kyurem is so precious here anyway.
Muck
I guess
can
I
also
run
run an
Bundle could
AV.
like go in on this team, but that's like all.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Bundle is. Yeah, but you're going to bring. It's like Bundle is just going to bring like Terra Electric Latios, and that's going to
Yeah,
eat pretty
much.
capably. Or AV Muck is going to eat pretty capably.
Mhm.
Yeah, or like Scarf Arcanine. Like the Iron Bundle is like really pressured by potential Scarfers as well.
Mhm.
Problem for it.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's always gonna have a way to out offense another team, and that it's always gonna have the tools to win.
Absolutely.
So it's just broken as fuck.
Also, like no draft is like happy to see Iron Bundle ever in their entire life. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
like just not a Pokemon. They're like the guy who drafted Double Guja maybe is happy, but other than that.
Right.
But yeah, it's really insane draft. I'm really
Yup.
excited to play against it. I think it'll be super fun.
Thanks for watching, everyone. This was the FBL Season 10 Mythical Power Rankings. It was 100% accurate, so like there's just
Yep.
not much.
If you
can do
disagree,
about
you're
it.
just fucking wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys in the next one for Legendary. Peace.
Bye bye.